Hi. As in, I slept in. Oh my gosh, I did too. My back. It's like I've had so many jobs in my day that I guess my back tends to act up every once in a while. So I just need to give it some TLC. All right. So this is about nutritional healing for mental health. I feel like there is so much that people don't. They underestimate nutrition and what causes lots of things like mental health. I feel like I've gone through this a lot in my growing up. Like we've been talking about this kind of stuff since forever. So I grew up on a farm, and I know over here my parents talk about this a lot. Like, oh, they don't make the food like they used to. That's why me growing up on a farm, having made thank goodness for my grandfather. He bought us all land, and we grew up growing food. Not everything, but a lot. And doing my own research over the years and realizing that some of the things that we're missing out of food. Think about it. If you grew up in the 70s and 80s and you were watching certain commercials, like food commercials, and one of the things that they would advertise would be like for cereal, for example, and they would say things fortified with vitamins and minerals, and it makes you think, why do you have to advertise that? Why do you have to advertise that food has vitamins and minerals in it? Because they take it out. Because of the many years of food history. Now, I'm not, again, I've said this before and I will continue to say this. There is benefit in the FDA. There really is, because they were putting sawdust in food. Okay? That's kind of, important. And to have like health inspectors and all this other stuff for food safety, it's necessary. So I'm not saying that. But food industry have always found ways to benefit on people and not care about their nutritional need. Right? So that's kind of where I'm going with this. It's like I'm not against brands or food or anything particular. I just know the history of what has been done over the decades in the United States. Uh, Again, I probably need to go ahead and do like these series. It's not like they're mysteries either, y'all. It's like first of all, the story of the Kellogg brothers. Oof, that would make your skin crawl to know. Okay, maybe I'll do a talk about them. But the fact that we need people to make sure our food is safe, but at the same time they're not making sure the food is healthy either. It's just so it doesn't like off you or poison you, right? But there's not, in the last, since I would say maybe the 90s, since they started regulating the labels, those were out of control before, right? And I'm just gonna say all of this to say that I think there is a connection between mental health and the food that we're being given to us to eat. There are links, okay? Because the research I'm doing on how to, I don't want to say cure, but to heal bodies and minds. And I've been doing this for 10 years for myself, and now I'm doing it for my brother. It's like some of these minerals, like, wait, aren't we supposed to already have these things in our bodies, in our food already? Yes, but they're not, because they're too busy trying to sell us food products to buy. Oh, goodness. It's very interesting. It's like I'm just trying to make a short drive over to the apartment right now. And even as of last night, when I'm doing some deep dives into the amino acids, I'm Like, oh my gosh, this stuff is the stuff. Even last night, last night over at the apartment, I was making food for Oliver, my brother. um, I was adding in, like herbs and spices, and he was asking for those things. And then I look them up, and I was like, yeah, because they have certain things in them that we need in the first place. Okay, so they're taking these things out of the food, and people are suffering. Like, some of these things aren't really diseases or illnesses, they're deficiencies in minerals. Okay? Our bodies need these things. That's why we're eating in the first place. Like, people have turned something that is a necessity into a sport, eating as a sport or a form of entertainment, you know? And it makes people only crave junk food. And then they're not getting the real nutrition they need. And that's why we have epidemics of obesity and mental illness. And when I say mental illness, it goes as little as like anxiety, which I found out through, again, more research. That's one of the largest mental health crises that we have right now. Anxiety, okay? Then depression, and then on and on. Like, if you go more and more, one is stacking up on the other. Uh, and a lot of these things I see in my classroom over the years, and then I see what parents feed their children. Like, and again, I'm not trying to condone families who can't afford certain things, but it is very revealing how big this really is. How big this really is. Oh, hi, Philly Cat. How are you? Um, yeah, it's like fortified. Like, if you, again, I'm thinking they're doing better, but not really. I don't think so. So think, for example, like cereals and grains and stuff. When they advertise fortified with vitamins and minerals, that's because they bleached them out. Rice is not white, y'all. Flour shouldn't have to be white. It's not white. They bleached it out. Okay? And like I said, I was meal prepping for my brother. I'm coming back over here to do another round of that. Because he is now finally, I'm hoping, um, on the straight and narrow. So he got sick the other day. And I told him about all this sugar eating. But then I'm also doing more research on, let me just share some of these fun facts since I got people on here live. Like, we have more than one brain. It's the here in the noggin, and then we have brain cells in our stomach, y'all. We have brain cells in our stomach. Okay? And the one podcast I was listening to the other day mentioned a study on how our stomachs can detect sugar, even if you cannot taste sugar. And because our stomachs detect sugar and crave it, it is making people eat things they probably shouldn't be eating, and it's not their fault. And there, like I said, there's food scientists out there, like, that are all about trying to, make food taste better, quote unquote, taste better. Really, our bodies, when we were young, when you're like, let's say, child, when you're a child, that's a safety measure, quite honestly. We were naturally inclined to want sugary things because it wasn't poisonous. Okay. But I believe these food scientists, these food industries, and I can't blame the scientists. They go where the money is. But these food industries that are exploiting this science, that it is a craving. It literally is a craving. And if our bodies are just, being given sugar, whether you taste it or not, that's why I keep talking about these sugars hidden in condiments. Your body is craving it, and they are exploiting you. They're exploiting us. Okay? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so I am now over at the apartment right now, but I'm hoping, like, I don't know if he's there or not. Like, he went to church today. I hope he said he was. That's the thing. So all of that to say, I think we all have the answers too. Like, he was a good eater, and that's why I mentioned that we grew up on a farm. Okay, so I'm going back over some notes and some things that he was telling me he wants. He's always been a good eater, and that's what they say as far as like healthy eater. Okay, but he can be swayed into eating garbage food, and he likes beans. He likes. Oh wait, let me. He likes eggs and meat, which, not a problem. That's what you like. Um, he likes beans, eggs, milk. He drinks a lot of milk. He likes lemons of all things. He's like, yeah, I like citrus and lemons. I'm like, okay. And I'm going over. Oh, he likes pineapples. So when he was buying like these little fruit cups, I can't even begin to go. Like, I feel like I'm like crashing out with like all the things that are going on in my brain right now with what they call like assistance, food pantries, food stamps, all this other stuff, and what they allow and don't allow, and the food that the quote unquote food that they're providing is not real food. So he was getting fruit cups, and this is before he came to live here in Atlanta with me. Um, and because he said he liked pineapples, and I'm like, okay, that's cool. I'm getting him fresh pineapples now. Like, you can go to the store and actually buy a whole pineapple and just cut it yourself. Those are good for you, but drenched in sugar water, not. It's not. Okay, I have nothing against him eating like, oh, it was in syrup, in sugar water, and drenched in juice. So I've kind of put a cut to that. I buy him fresh pineapples now. I made him a pineapple juice last night, and of course, I put my own little special something something on there. Um, that will help him a lot. And he likes peanut butter. I introduced him to hummus, which is basically a bean dip. Um, I got him some corn tortillas, not corn chips. I mean the real deal, like they're the circular kind, and they're already. I got him some that I already had that all you have to do is put in the oven, but I feel like that's an extra step that he won't do because sometimes he's not motivated, and again, that's a part of his illness. So in order for him to just grab something that's like garbage and start eating it, I'm meal prepping for him, and I have been doing that for a while since he's been here. So now that it's warming up a little bit more, I'm glad that he is mentioning the things he likes. Coleslaw. I was like, yeah, because we had talked about cabbage the other day. And he was like, yeah, I like coleslaw. I was like, oh, okay. So I was going to buy him pre-made coleslaw, but luckily, I didn't see any. So I made him some last night. And that way I can know the content of what's in the coleslaw. So there's nothing wrong with some of these foods that we do eat, but I think we need to get back into making our own food a lot more, right? So and he likes salad dressing, which I'm like, oh, cringe. But I'm adding more vinegar, apple cider vinegar into those things. So again, he can start slowly weaning himself off of that sugar. Okay. So yeah, so I was making some lists, making some notes. But the thing is, with all the research that I'm doing, and yeah, there's medicine, but then I'm not saying don't take your medicine. There is the amino acids that are in foods that help you make the hormones that you need in our bodies. And I've talked about hormones before. Probably need to go and just do a sit down and talk about them more clearly, more kid like even kid friendly, because I even talk about that in my classroom. Yeah. Yeah, so there are ways that you can still have your fun food, and I'm trying to introduce him to Mexican food because that's kind of like fun food. I told him I was gonna buy him some salsa. I'll probably make it, Again, that way I can see the in like what's actually in it. Um, and I don't mind cooking. Actually, he cooks. When he used to be a cook for his profession of all things, and I'm just trying to introduce him again to more healthy ways of eating instead of eating garbage. Well, I wasn't I wasn't really buying it, but I don't know where he was finding it. And the only thing I can think of is that he was going to food pantries and just showing up with cereal. I was like, where are you getting this stuff? You know? And he was gorging on it. Like literally like and while he was having basically a flare up of his mental illness. And I was like, yeah, there's something to this. As of yesterday, he was doing a lot better. So, oh yes, fermented things. He likes buttermilk. I bought him buttermilk right before he got his like sick, and then I guess he panicked after him being sick. He didn't like he does. He's a person he does not like being physically sick. So after he got sick and he started to feel better, he literally went to the refrigerator and threw all the food out, which I'm kind of like, uh, and some of it was the buttermilk. So I do have more buttermilk for him. I'm just trying to wait. I got him milk, so okay, I'm sneaky. He does like buttermilk, but I'm still nervous about him not drinking the buttermilk. So he does. I got him a new gallon of milk. I'll probably I want to make him smoothies. We had talked about that too, but instead of just milk, maybe buttermilk and maybe silken tofu. So what I'm trying to say before I go is, and I might, if he's in there, I'm not gonna film while I'm cooking. But if he's not in there, I'll probably, I don't know, pop on again today. But yes, so he does like pickled things. So he has pickles. I got him some olives because he asked for them again. So he knows, like intuitively, he knows, and that's the thing. It's like all the things he was naming that like real food that he likes. Those are the things that he needs for his mental wellness. Like seriously. He likes almonds. He talked about getting almonds. I was like, okay, okay. Walnuts. He likes those things. The only thing right now that I can't afford is those eggs, honey. So yeah, so all those things like lemons. I got him some lemons. He already has apple cider vinegar. I'm gonna see if he is into sauerkraut, because if the cabbage, he likes cabbage. And the coleslaw I made him, I put like some apple cider vinegar in it. I made the dressing myself. Again, I see what's in it. He's got cabbage and carrots in it. It's crunchy, it's crispy, it's good for him. Yeah. Um yeah, you ain't never buy a chicken. But I do know some people with chickens, so maybe I may need to be checking in with them. My mom had chickens, but she gave them to my aunt. I don't think they eat as many eggs anymore in Alabama right now. Um, so my mom, she used to have the hustle, but I'm not trying to drive 3 hours to get some eggs right now. But I do know maybe a couple of people in the city, and yes, in the city we can have chickens, we got goats. Um, there's some things I could find some things. I'm gonna just say, but he eats a lot of eggs. So sorry, my back said I was saying earlier. All right, so yeah, so there are some things that he naturally wants that are good for him. These amino acids, and I can start as I'm learning more about them. And I did mention L-theanine before. So if there's any one amino acid right now that anybody is wanting to try for general wellness and especially for mental health, L-theanine. Okay, I don't know if I have. Hold on, I got some other stuff in my purse right now, but and I have another one that I don't know if I want to tell people about, right? Well, okay, I do tell people about this. All right, so of course I can't help but show the brand here. NAC, I use this a lot. This is some good stuff. Okay. Yeah, amino acids, I think this is the key. I mean, This is the key to nutrition. And this is an amino acid as well. Like I said, yeah, you probably already know what the brand is, but it doesn't matter. Like, they're affordable things out there. And I'm just trying to find ways of this NSC. But right now, like I said, I'm leaning into the L-theanine for him, and he's been on it, let's say 2 weeks now. I've seen improvements in him. Okay, so I've seen improvements in him, and I make his morning tea, so I put it in his morning tea, which his morning tea is turmeric and ginger, anti-inflammatory. Okay, so what is happening is that we are all inflamed. Okay, and so we need foods and diets that are anti-inflammatory. I deal with a lot of allergies. That's an inflammation. Okay, if you got Hashimoto's, if you got mental illness, if you got obesity, that's a form of inflammation. Okay, and we need to start looking into anti-inflammatory everything, everything. Okay, now luckily I did hold back. Well, he didn't throw things out of the freezer, it was just the refrigerator. So I think he just got really scared about, like, oh, I'm sick and I don't want to be sick anymore. So I had some frozen mixed vegetables that I bought the other day, or a couple of weeks ago, and he he likes those. He likes field peas especially. All right, so I'm again trying to, and I hold back my cans. Okay, salmon. That's a good point. I might have to do that. Ooh, and here in Atlanta we have a wind advisory too right now. So I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm parked in a good decent spot right now. Okay, so yes, I've got salmon. I got my mixed vegetables that are frozen. He likes those. He likes his field peas. He likes okra. Okay, so again, all these things, he does want these things, but it's right now, if it's hard for him to get the motivation up to actually cook it, then he might not do it. And then he'll grab something that's not healthy at all. No nutritional value. That's what I mean by that. Okay. All right, so it's getting kind of weird out here. There's like wind blowing this person's, like, it looks like they're building a greenhouse or some kind of hutch. Because again, Atlanta, we're doing stuff, and I don't know. I might be making a garden myself this summer or spring because the state of the things that are going on right now. And then I also strongly encourage people to embrace fasting because the price of food is high. You're gonna have to want quality food in your body or no food. Okay, so and there's nothing wrong with fasting. Okay, um, if you're not sure on how to fast, maybe I can build a protocol for people. Oh yeah, there is one more thing. I make I have a food wellness guide. I printed it out. This is my wellness guide. A lot of people, I keep telling folks about it. I made it because people are asking me, like, well, what do you keep in your kitchen or bathroom? So something like this, a wellness guide, and I don't keep all of these herbs, but I can just rattle off a couple of them. So turmeric, I do keep turmeric on hand. I also keep peppermint on hand. Okay. I keep milk thistle on hand. I keep aloe vera. There's some in there right now. I'm trying to figure out how best to get it. Probably in a smoothie. I'm probably end up making a smoothie with aloe vera in it. Lemon balm, my faves. Okay, those are the things I keep on hand. But I also listed other things: echinacea, chamomile. I do maybe have some chamomile somewhere. Lavender. I do have lavender at my house. Garlic. I do have that. Ginger, I keep it everywhere, honey. You don't realize. So there's probably only two things that I don't keep regularly at my house in my kitchen medicine cabinet. um, but I use other things instead. All right, so I'm just looking to see, is that who is that? Is that my brother? No. All right, so on my channel, you can download my wellness guide for free. It is there. Okay. All I did was take it and printed it out. This is what it looks like. It's kind of like, I made it like a brochure, or you can use it digitally. Um, share it with your friends and family. Have it like, I kind of imagine having it like a menu. And let me know if if it's something that you're also interested in, because I can make, like I said, a fasting guide. Yeah. And protocol. I probably do need to do that because I don't think people know how to fast properly. I did have a coworker. She was on a juice cleanse in the middle of the week during a work day. I was like, ma'am, I don't know. You got to prepare yourself for these things. I don't do juice cleanse or fast like that, but I definitely know there's other things that you could do to set yourself up to be successful. Like there was like a period of time of like 2 years that I did that for myself. Deep, deep cleansing. Okay. And I am going to go. Let me get out of here because, like I said, I'm going to be cooking for him. It's going to be like an hour or so. I had a long or a slow day for myself. But in order to fast properly so that you aren't like starving yourself or you're not harming yourself, you've got to prepare the body. And then you've got to have your minerals. Again, back to the minerals. Okay. Because what you're trying to do is detox your body, remove the bad things that are in your body, restore what should be in your body. And you can do that with fasting because your body will kick in its natural autophagy. Okay. So I know I'm saying all these, kind of words, but yeah. All right. So I'm going to go. Hope this wind doesn't knock me down as I'm trying to get into the building. Um, if he's in there, like I said, I won't film, but I'll probably, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know what I'm gonna make. I did bring some more rice. He has rice already, but I just need to make sure he has food that he can just easily eat and not worry about cooking. So he can again rebuild his health, continue to build his health, but continue to build his mental health. Um, and yeah, he's still on medication, and I don't know. I'm still doing my research on what other things can be done for him. But I, I made a video last night. Probably shouldn't have. And I called it, I want him to be okay, which I really do. I really do. He is a kind and gentle person, and he should not be dealing with something like this. He's been through a lot of trauma, he's been through a lot of stuff, you know? And I genuinely do want him to be okay. Okay? And if I can help in any kind of way, help him and maybe help you out there who might be dealing with mental wellness or health issues, physical ones, they're like the key to it all is the inflammation. And we've got to let that inflammation go. You know? We all need to figure out how to um go back to being small. I even talked to him about like not going to Walmart so much. It's like Walmart don't care about you. We ended up stopping by this small mom and pop grocery store to get some more stuff for him. And I was like, I don't want to give my money to these places that don't care about people anymore. You know? I just don't. I don't. All right. So with that, I'm going to say take care. Peace out. Um, Stay warm, stay dry. Consider what can you do to take care of your mental wellness out there. Okay? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've got to find ways to still like, and the thing is, small, we're global now. We don't have to go to Amazon. We can find these companies and go to them directly. Like I heard about with the whole Tabitha Brown and the old other things with Target. I was like, we never needed them. Target, that is. We just need to find these people, and they're out there. They're doing stuff. These small companies, you can ship to them. They'll ship. Yeah, and I think convenience breeds laziness, breeds self entrapment, you know? It's like everybody's too busy trying to be like, well, I'll just go to Walmart real quick, or go to Target, or go to Amazon, or go to wherever. These oligarchs, they got us in the crosshairs. They want, like, yeah, they need us, but we need to be a little smarter in a lot of regards, you know? And food, health, and safety is about to go out the window in the United States. Education is about to get slashed. I've got friends who are literally being laid off overnight in the national park industry. Like, I got friends who are national rangers, like park rangers, and they are losing their jobs. They can't even protect the natural wildlife anymore. They can't. And then me as an educator, like a K-12 teacher, I have some protection, being that education kind of is state bound, but there are still federal funding programs that are about to get slashed. And we just got to figure it out. We can do this. We got to figure this out. Okay? All right. So there's a lot of big feelings to be had out there. So practice your breath work. Activate that vagus nerve. Take care of yourself, y'all. Okay? Seriously. All right. Take care.